Royals are rumbled, the vengeance has been wreaked. Time for ranting. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. I must say 3-2 for Vengeance Day. I counted the no DQ match I missed but snuck in the pick at the end of last week's video. And I'm not counting Lyra Valkyria winning because Lola Vice cashed in and changed the match. Still doing pretty well for the start of 2024. Speaking of, with all the fallout from Royal Rumble and Vengeance Day and the weeks thereafter, it's time for me to let me rant at ya. Here we go. Finally, The Rock has come back to heeldom! Yeah, Dwayne Johnson is pissed that he didn't get a match against his cousin Roman Reigns and doesn't get to be an 11-time champ. And now he seems to be Jey Uso's replacement in the bloodline, which just makes Cody Rhodes' decision to finish the story even harder. Now, part of me thinks Rocky's just playing along to teach his kin a lesson in humility, but yeah, I've been wrong before. Many times, in fact. But I am glad that The Rock will not compete at WrestleMania. For now, anyway. Rhodes needs to be the one to make the Roman Empire fall. And speaking of playing along, anyone else think Dakota Kai is doing that to Bayley? Oh, sure, she beat off the Nippon girls that betrayed Bayley behind her back, but Dakota seemed in on it too. She was getting tired of being Bayley's subordinate, I'm sure. I'm sure she was waiting for the thumbs up to compete again, just to knock Bayley down even further. And remember, Bayley's betrayed partners before. And I'm sure Dakota's a good student. So don't you believe it, Bayley, when she says she's backing you. Be ready to see her join the Kabuki Warriors in Io Sky and stabbing you in the back. And that leaves both World Championships without challengers until Elimination Chamber Perth. But again, the problem I'm having is that they're allowing SmackDown superstars to take part in a chance at Raw exclusive titles. This is how we knew AJ Styles wouldn't win against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions to become the inaugural World Champ. However, if a SmackDown superstar does win the men's chamber, we might just see the World Heavyweight and WWE Championships switch shows before the draft can do it. So that makes sense. If a Raw superstar wins the chamber, though, Cody Rhodes might be en route to SmackDown and nothing else. Women's chamber will be effed if this SD woman wins. That's all I gotta say. Okay, look. What Brock Lesnar allegedly did in league with Vince McMahon was horrible. Lesnar, McMahon, and John Laurinaitis should all be jailed for a long time if it's proved they did do what was said they did. But that's no reason to erase Lesnar from the WWE. You mean to tell me that all the matches, most of which were showstoppers, mind you, Lesnar competed in never happened? And if so, does that mean Undertaker's WrestleMania win streak went to 22 before Roman Reigns beat him? Get real. If you're going to do that, you might as well say WrestleMania 20 never happened as a whole. Because not only was Lesnar a part of it, but so was Chris Benoit. And he did way worse. Don't mention him again if you must. That's what they're doing with Benoit. But keep the history there. Lesnar was only a monster in the ring because before we learned he was one outside of it more recently. Again, allegedly. Well, at least we know what's going to happen on NXT Tuesday, at least as far as the NXT tag titles are concerned. With Braun Breaker still scouting between Raw and SmackDown, he and Baron Corbin will not be winning the titles from the family. But given the poor quality and quantity of teams on NXT these days, who will beat them? OTM? Not likely given what happened in that 6-person tag. Gallus? They'd have done it by now. Anoff and Blade? Frazier and Axiom? Well, they're still pulling together as a team, but doesn't seem likely. The newly accredited Chase U? Gad, I hope not. They're just coasting thanks to those calendars. New teams had better start up in NXT soon, or, let's face it, there's not going to be a need for the tag titles there. Lastly, I am not really on board with this whole WWE speed deal, and not just because it's on the social media formerly known as Twitter. I am not for giving Elon Musk any more money until he sells Twitter to someone else. Just the concept of 5-minute matches sounds ridiculously like the WWE is going all the way back to their 1980s TV shows. The only way any match ends outside of a time limit draw, in that case, is if superstars face jobbers. And the only superstars that can even compare to jobbers these days are those who fight in main event or level up. Is that what's going to happen? Will Raw and SmackDown superstars face the bottom rungs of NXT in the main rosters? It's going to have to be, because jobber v. jobber will not take 5 minutes or less. The road to WrestleMania may need some paving, but at least it has a very entertaining on-ramp this year. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blog who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace, and I'll see ya